Picture-perfect day here in Charlotte. Before we kick things off, let's send it down to the sidelines and Jenny Dell.
Well, Ian, it was an interesting week in Seattle, to say the least. You guys were talking about all the rumors that were rumbling, but I spoke with head coach Pete Carroll, and he said really it was a non-factor. And Russell Wilson echoed those same thoughts. He said it was all outside noise. Inside the locker room, this team is closer than ever. And Ian, he told me that he doesn't read the blogs, he doesn't read Twitter, he doesn't watch TV. All he does is blocks that out and focuses here on the game here today.
Well, it's back to football for the Seahawks, Jenny, and for Seattle, facing some adversity, that Super Bowl hangover. Some people would attribute it to that. The reality is, well, this is a team last year that found ways to win games, and this year it's gone the other way on them. Graham Gano will kick it off. Carolina won the toss. They'll defer to the second half. Paul Richardson is the return man for Seattle. We're underway from Charlotte. Richardson will take it out. Richardson, the rookie out of Colorado. Stiff arm, and he's out of bounds. James Dockery on special teams making the play for Carolina. Russell Wilson, last year in a victory over Carolina, put up 320 yards through the air.
Yeah, and he said that when playing on the road, it's important to set the tempo and the pace that he wants the Seahawks to operate at. And he wants them to continue their outstanding play in the red zone. Seattle is 100%, 14 touchdowns in 14 tries and a perfect 10 for 10 on field goals.
And Seattle is operating in its wolf gray uniforms here on the road against Carolina. Three receiver set, Baldwin, Kearse, and Richardson throwing on first down. And a throw to Baldwin had a big week last week in that loss to St. Louis, limited to a gain of 1 on the play. Day 2 and Norman there defensively. Starting offense for Seattle, no Max Unger once again, so Stephen Schilling steps in for the 3rd straight game at center. Backs and receivers, Robert Turbin. He's not a natural fullback, but he'll play there because of the injury to Derek Coleman, who was placed on IR, designated for return after suffering a broken bone in his foot last week. He's out up to 6 weeks. 6 offensive linemen on this play for Seattle. It's a running play. Marshawn Lynch is buried. Carolina has not been able to stop the run. They were prepared for it, and it's a loss of 4 on the play.
Well, it's penetration that's the key for Carolina, something that was stressed in their practice today. Look at all those black shirts on the other side of the line of scrimmage. That gave Marshawn Lynch nowhere to go, nowhere to cut back, even though the Seahawks added an extra offensive lineman in Alvin Bailey.
Lynch will go to the sideline on 3rd and 13 now for Seattle. First possession of the day. 5 receiver set. Wilson out of the gun. Steps up on the move. A dart to Baldwin, but he's short of the first down. Hit by the linebacker, Thomas Davis. They pick up 11. Not enough. Seattle will punt.
Good starts defensively for Carolina. Getting the loss of yardage on 2nd down really set up a perfect situation for a defense on 3rd and long, playing zone defense and rushing just 4.
Brenton Burson is the return man out of Wofford. John Ryan, the veteran punter, will kick it away for Seattle. No rush. Remember what happened last week. Fake off by St. Louis. Vincent can't handle it. And Burson with a muff. Carolina claims they've got it.
Well, for Seattle fans, this is too similar to what happened last week against the Rams, where officials have to dig and dig at this pile to uncover and see who's got the ball.
And they determined that they could not figure out who had the ball cleanly last week in that fumble at the end of the game against St. Louis. This time, they do determine right away that Carolina's got it with Josh Norman. So a shaky moment right out of the gate for Brenton Burson in his first year. Local product out of Charlotte Latin High School.
And both these coaches put a high premium more on catching punts than returning punts. Especially the way these punters are so good at kicking it so high and allowing the coverage to get down right on top of the returner. Burson that time.
Carolina will have it 1st and 10 at the 29. Ed Dixon sets up as a fullback on 1st down in front of Jonathan Stewart. Carolina coming off a 38-17 loss in Green Bay. They were down 21-0 in that game before they even blinked. Hand off to Stewart going up the middle and picks up 3 yards on first down. Cam Newton, he has won 9 of his last 10 starts here at home.
Told us yesterday the Panthers need to find some consistency on offense. Important to start the game in a positive manner. They've overcome that muff punt by Burson, but they just need to make first down, staying on schedule, all those type of things, especially not panicking if it's a 3rd and long.
Dan, they were outgained 172-5 in the first quarter last week by the Packers. 2nd and 7. This time Newton will keep it himself. Those long strides and the big frame, 6'5", 245, 8 yards, and a new set of downs. Starting offense for Carolina. They're dealing with injuries. Andrew Norwell, undrafted free agent out of Ohio State, starting up front. Fernando Velasco's a backup, also starting. And backs and receivers, Kelvin Benjamin, number 28 overall pick. He's provided Newton with a big target at 6'5", 240, the rookie from Florida State. So 1st and 10 for Carolina at the 40. 2 tight ends, Olsen and Dixon. Play fake. High throw is handled by the veteran Kochery. Now in his 11th year in the NFL, that's a 13-yard hookup and another first down for the Panthers.
Now the Packers stayed away from Richard Sherman, but Newton said that he's going to test him similar to what San Diego did. You can see Sherman just a little bit late as he tried to undercut that route and pick it off and take it all the way back. But Kochery, great ball control and feet control.
So Sherman will man that side of the field. We know what happened earlier this season with Green Bay where they just didn't look his way. Ron Rivera said that's not going to happen. Cam Newton backed it up saying we'll use whoever we need to in order to move the ball, no matter what side of the field. Stewart muscles his way out across the 45 for a 4-yard gain for Carolina. Defensively for Seattle, they're still ranked in the top 10, but not as dominant as they were. Michael Bennett has sacks in 3 of his last 4 games against Carolina. Linebackers, no Bobby Wagner, out once again because of turf toe. So Malcolm Smith, Super Bowl MVP, gets the start. And Darrell Simon, 2nd year out of LSU, in for the injured Byron Maxwell once again. 2nd and 6. Panthers are in Seattle territory. Newton, wide open, it's Benjamin. They've developed a nice chemistry, Newton and Benjamin. Cam Newton has taken the rookie under his wing. Cam Chancellor with a tackle. That's a 17-yard catch and run for Carolina.
35 catches now for the 6'5", 240-pound number 1 pick. And you can see just how dangerous he is. Gives the quarterback a huge target.
Won a national title with Florida State. He is leading all rookies with 5 touchdown receptions. Carolina moving the football just shy of the 25 of Seattle. Ground hit. Stewart slicing to the 20-yard line for a pickup of 6. We're down to 9:22 to play in this opening quarter. Pete Carroll now in his 5th year as the head coach of the Seahawks. Losing 3 in a row is not something that he's been accustomed to.
No, and he had to go back a long way in his coaching career. Been a winner in his career so far.
Seahawks have lost back-to-back games. And again, zigzag by Stewart. 4-yard pickup.
Stewart is going to really benefit from the fact that Cam Newton is so good at this style of offense. The read option offense. We've already seen Newton pick up a first down on this drive. He's moved out of the pocket. The Seahawks have to respect the play action pass and also the play when he runs the ball so effectively.
They've dealt with injuries at that running back spot. D'Angelo Williams still not ready to come back from that high ankle sprain. Fozzie Whitaker is out as well, sitting with a thigh injury. Newton gets out of trouble. And then faces it again. Second wave. Michael Bennett was able to hem him in for a loss of 7 on the play.
He told us that this defense is big and they're fast. You can see that was going to be a quarterback draw all the way. A good job up front by the Seahawks getting right in there. Michael Bennett forces Newton to eat it.
His 2 lowest passing yardage games of his career have come against this Seattle defense. 141 yards 2 seasons ago, 125 yards last year. Off the fake, set it up for Stewart. Stewart breaking 1 tackle, and he's buried short of the 15. A miss by Scruggs turns it into a 6.5-yard gain.
You can see Joe Webb, the backup quarterback, and really an outstanding athlete in the game that time, faking the jet sweep or fly sweep, if you will. Pretty creative offensive play drawn up by coordinator Mike Shula. And then the dump off to Stewart, who gave great effort.
Pete Carroll telling us when you lose, you just want to get back out there. Like the players, the coaches feel the same way. And that loss last week lingered even a bit more because the Percy Harvin trade opened up a Pandora's box. 10th play of the drive. Newton on 3rd and 11. Newton turns the corner, but not enough for a first down. The block from Darren Reeves, the rookie out of Alabama, Birmingham. Newton appears to be okay. Big smile on his face. He plays with a lot of zeal.
He really is fortunate here at the end. Here's 36. Reeves will come back and peel on the linebacker Malcolm Smith right there. That gets Newton out of bounds and out of harm's way.
So Graham Gano on for a short field goal attempt, trying to put Carolina on the board. Good opening drive by the Panthers. Gano, 13 of 15 this season. Attack on another. 31-yarder is good. Carolina with a 3-0 lead over Seattle. We've got 6:21 to play. Opening quarter. Strong start for the Carolina offense, but the Panthers have to settle for the 31-yard Gano field goal. 11 plays for Cam Newton and company, and a 3-0 lead. 6:21 mark of this first quarter. Gano will kick it off to Paul Richardson. Remember, this is a role that Percy Harvin used to fill. Brian Walters was supposed to be the guy, but Walters is dealing with a concussion that he suffered during practice. And banging that one into the front row. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks offense back on the field when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Toyota Care. Scheduled maintenance, no cost. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Last meeting between these two teams, opening game last year, a 12-7 win for Seattle here at Bank of America Stadium. On first down, give it to Marshawn Lynch. He rumbles his way to the 25, picks up 5 in the process. Defensively for Carolina, they're ranked 27th overall. They are starting the second-year pro out of Purdue, K'Wan Short, up front. Linebackers, Chase Blackburn continues to sit with a knee injury. A.J. Klein starting, but you'll see a lot of 3 safeties. Colin Jones has already been in there. Josh Norman returning to action. He missed a couple of games with a concussion and shoulder injury. 2nd and 5 for Seattle. Oh, they were ready for it. Wilson on a bootleg, and the pressure coming from Thomas Davis. Carolina fully prepared for Wilson trying to create.
And they had a good run on first down from Lynch. Now they go play action here, fake to Lynch, but it's a blitz by Davis. Perfect timing and a wise throwaway by Russell Wilson. Both receivers on that side of the field were covered, and the pressure by Davis was perfectly timed.
Sean McDermott dialing up the defense, the coordinator for Carolina. James Dockery in. We'll see him at nickel corner here. Wilson throwing very close depending on the spot. Able to hit his man over the middle. Kuechly with the hit. Doug Baldwin.
And Kuechly breaks on this ball very quickly, so Baldwin makes the catch and cannot turn up the field and that will keep the Seahawks away from that first down. Another good series defensively for Carolina. That's their second 3 and out here in the first quarter.
Kevin Norwood was the man on the receiving end, the rookie out of Alabama who's seeing more action because of that deal that they made with the Jets for Percy Harvin. And now John Ryan is on to kick it once again. Burson couldn't handle it last time. He'll get another opportunity here. Didn't get a whole lot on it. Floats out of bounds. Carolina will have excellent field position. Burson was set up right around the 25. And they're going to mark it out at the 46-yard line. That's a 25-yard punt for Seattle. This week, Thursday Night Football moves to NFL Network. NFC South clash between the Saints and Panthers Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on NFL Network. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers have it 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Seattle, couple of 3 and outs. Unable to establish Marshawn Lynch. Wilson is 3 of 4, but his receivers have been short of the marker. On first down, quick hitter to Cotchery. Work on the sideline, and Cotchery is out of bounds. 11-yard pickup into Seattle territory.
Let's go back to the first drive. Newton on the read option goes for 8 yards. Picks up the first down, and he finds Cotchery on the sideline in front of Sherman for 13. Down the seam to Benjamin for 17. The drive stalled when Michael Bennett dropped Newton for a 7-yard loss. They had to settle for a field goal, but that poor punt gave them great field position to start this drive.
We asked Newton about his running ability. He said it's a gift and it's a curse, knowing when to use it, picking the right time. So many decisions within that run. Oh, should have been picked off. It bounces off of Thorold Simon's chest. Jason Avant, the intended receiver. And that's been the issue for Pete Carroll's defense, not coming up with the turnovers.
Well, they only have 2 picks all year. That ball goes off the hands of Avant and right into the chest of Simon, and Simon had blockers in front of him if he could make this catch.
So Carolina avoids the turnover. 2nd and 10 now. Up the middle. Obanaya. 5th-year pro from Texas. Churns for 9 yards straight up the gut.
Well, watch the blocking up front here as it's a little draw play. Obanaya, remember this offensive line has 4 free agents and a Pro Bowler. Khalil, the Pro Bowler at center, but everybody else there undrafted and put to use today because of injuries to Celatolo and to Trey Turner.
We'll get a timeout. Cam Newton has been looking up at that scoreboard almost for another perspective on the defense, that big screen, as Newton was working his way towards that side of the field. Timeout taken, 3:34 to play, first quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Kelley Blue Book. Find out what you should pay for your next new car at KBB.com. And by Outback Steakhouse. Outback, no rules, just right.
Back here in Charlotte, 3rd and 1 for Carolina after the timeout. Fake the handoff, deep drop. Newton connects. Greg Olsen, what a season the tight end has put together. And a first down for the Panthers, 15 yards for the veteran.
He does such a good job of faking the block. Watch him come down here, stay low, work on a double team, and then sneak into his route. Perfect timing. And how about that ball? That ball gave him momentum after he caught it to continue down the sidelines and pick up a huge first down on 3rd and short. Again, a nice play design by Mike Shula and perfectly executed by Newton and Olsen.
Olsen has been among the elite tight ends in the NFL this season. First set of downs for Carolina in the red zone. Give it to Stewart. Hop step by Stewart, accelerates for 5. A whiff by Malcolm Smith.
Now, he's a 235-pound back with great agility. Look at that move right there. A little hop away from Malcolm Smith. Jonathan Stewart's off to a good start for the Carolina Panthers. 5 carries, 23 yards.
And don't forget, he ran track at Oregon as well, so he's got some bulk, but he's got some speed.
Oh, I've got Oregon stuff for you. I got information on Oregon. You know.
Let's go. Give me some Duck stuff. 2nd and 5 here for Carolina.
Whack, whack, whack.
That's a duck. Kind of. Stewart running inside for 4. Line of scrimmage will be inside the Seattle 10. Under 2 minutes to go now in this first quarter. Plays in opponent territory. So far, Carolina has been controlling the action in this first quarter.
Seahawks have only run 6 plays. A pair of 3 and outs.
David Foucault, the rookie, is now playing on the right side of the line for Carolina. 3rd and 1. Newton. Cam Newton try to fall forward. And the push of the pile works in Carolina's favor.
Well, he can run every style of running play as if he were a running back. This is power. Watch Norwell, 68. He's leading Newton into the hole, and then he gets a little help from his big buddies. Here's Norwell just pulling him along. Now, that's heads up. Illegal, but hardly ever called.
Off-season ankle surgery for Newton and fractured ribs in the preseason. Wow, just short. Decision time for Ron Rivera.
You got to go for it here. I mean, could you really think about stopping Cam Newton on a quarterback sneak here at 6'5", 245? That would be my play selection.
So 4th and inches. Carolina 4 of 5 on 4th down plays this season. Fans on their feet here at Bank of America Stadium, which opened back in 1996. Newton does it himself. 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Guess I didn't have to be Nostradamus on that one, huh?
No.
Now look at the flying wedge of an offensive line. Everybody good and low for Newton. Great get off here. Plus he snapped the ball quickly. Didn't allow the Seahawks to really dig in there. That's tremendous power by that offensive line and number 1.
9th play of the drive. Panthers looking to add to their lead on 1st and goal. Over the middle, Stewart gets blasted. Penalty marker thrown on the play. KJ Wright with the stick. Walt Coleman is our referee. It's a loss of 1.
A tremendous reaction by KJ Wright.
51. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. After this to the goal. Still 1st down.
Seattle leads the NFL in penalties this season. They led the NFL in penalties last season, won the Super Bowl, so it's not always a cause and effect.
But it's timing. I mean, they have not stopped Carolina yet, except for the Michael Bennett play on the quarterback draw in the first drive. And now they give Cam Newton a 1st and goal now from inside the 4.
Time runs out in this opening quarter. Carolina with a 3-0 lead and threatening to add to it. Second quarter is coming up. We'll return to Charlotte after these messages. 3-0 lead, the Panthers over the Seahawks. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Watching the NFL on CBS.
120th consecutive sellout here at Bank of America Stadium. We start the second quarter. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouch, Jenny Dell, the rest of our CBS crew, producer Mark Wolf, director Bob Fishman. 1st and goal for Carolina, just inside the 4. 3 tight ends in this formation with Olsen setting up off to the right. The fake. Newton is hit, no gain on the play. Malcolm Smith, first man over there for Seattle. It's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, really a good read by the Seahawk defense here. This did not fool them as that one is taken care of. coordinated defense that time for Seattle. But that's where Newton is so dangerous, faking the ball to the tailback Stewart and keeping it. Seattle was ready.
Second and goal. Carolina leads 3-0. Another long drive for the Panthers. 105 total yards. Seattle limited to 17. Hatchery, the motion man. Play fake. Newton. Incomplete. Hit off the hands of Kelvin Benjamin. Richard Sherman in coverage in the end zone.
Well, Newton knows that Benjamin's 6'5", and this is where you want to throw it. Real nice and high. Ball was not a spiral. It goes right through his hands. But look at the reaction by Sherman. And that could have been called a face mask. Did not grab the face mask, and he might have knocked the ball out with that type of technique. That's perfect technique by Sherman. Splitting the hands of the receiver, but for not, because the ball should have been caught in the first place.
Third and goal for Carolina, and a flag down.
Yeah, this is 12 men in the huddle for Seattle. Another mistake.
12 men lined up in our defense with the offensive formation. Half the distance to the goal.
It's a 1.5-yard penalty. But it's a deeper issue for Seattle that things are just out of sync.
There goes Michael Bennett. That's, you count him, that's 12 in the formation.
6 offensive linemen here for Carolina in the huddle. Brian Folkerts is in. Kelvin Benjamin still upset after not hauling that in. Russell Wilson, a helpless feeling, hoping his defense can come up big. Third and goal. Stewart stacked up initially. Stewart still on his feet. But look at all the wolf gray jerseys getting in the face of Stewart. McDaniel, Earl Thomas, Bennett. Loss of 7 on the play, and Carolina forced to kick another field goal.
Well, you're 1.5 yards or so away from the goal line, and you take the ball back to hand it to the tailback Stewart about 5 to 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That allows penetration by the defense, and then just too many gray shirts there for Stewart to try to get away from. But I still like the quarterback sneak better down there, just 1.5 yards away. Taking the ball away from the line of scrimmage, cost the Panthers.
Chip shot, 26 yards. Graham Gano knocks it through to give Carolina a 6-0 lead. Early stages, second quarter. Don't miss a moment of today's football action. The CBS Sports app now has the fastest scores. Download it now to get your scores first, right on your phone. 6-0 lead for Carolina. Pair of field goals from Gano. Kicks it off now to Richardson. Moving forward, returnable from the goal line. Richardson's got a lane. Richardson to the 40. Trying to get the angle. Richardson. Little shake and bake move. He's dropped just shy of midfield by Josh Norman. On special teams, a 49-yard return. Maybe the spark Seattle was looking for. Seahawks trailing 6-0 on the road. Seahawks still looking for their first down of the day. We're at the 13-12 mark of the second quarter. Carolina leading the Seahawks 6-0. Luke Wilson sets up in the backfield. Excellent field position to open up. Wilson throws. It's complete. Richardson, a rookie out of Colorado, second-round pick. Brought down by Josh Norman. Well, for Seattle, dealing with a lot of questions this week. We asked Pete Carroll about the distractions. He said, no, they're not real. There is no rift in the locker room. There's no problem with the quarterback. Pete Carroll and the Seahawks putting on a brave face.
When it comes to that playoff question, they trail both Arizona and San Francisco, and they play them both twice in the last 6 games of the season.
They are in Carolina territory. Wilson out of the pocket. Wilson is hit. Big loss. Tony Ely leading the charge for Carolina. Loss of 8 on the play. NFL Today update. JB, Bart Scott in New York.
A horrible first quarter for Geno Smith.
Yes, Geno Smith has 3 completions to the Buffalo Bills.
Aaron Williams for the 26-yard return, setting up a 1-yard shot. Lee Smith, touchdown. It's getting bad in there right now. Buffalo 7-0.
Geno Smith out, Michael Vick is in. Ian and Dane.
It was inevitable, guys. At some point, Rex Ryan was going to have to make that change. Wilson throwing it down into the ground. It was a bounce. Thomas Davis coming the other way for Carolina. Extending towards the pylon. Wilson claims it's an incomplete pass. And that's exactly what it was.
Now, why didn't they blow the whistle? Wilson, I think, was trying to keep from throwing this ball, but he did throw it, and one bounced right to Davis, who took it to the end zone. It was clearly as an incomplete pass. In fact, the officials were not even running with Davis to signal touchdown.
So the long walk for Davis and the Carolina defense back to the line of scrimmage. And the troubles continue for Seattle on offense.
I think what Wilson saw is he saw somebody flashing in front of his intended receiver and tried to pull the ball back, but the ball did go forward in a forward motion, therefore incomplete. The official's still talking about it.
Tremendous opening field position for Seattle, and they haven't done anything with it. Russell Wilson telling us he's treating it like the team is 0-0, wins and losses, 10 games left, and let's see what the Seahawks do. You get the feeling that this is like a crossroads game for the Seahawks to see what direction their season is headed in. 3rd and 18. Wilson, plenty of room after the catch for Lockett. But not nearly enough for a first down. He's dropped at the 41. James Dockery with a hit. Seahawks have to punt.
Well, Lockett is number 83, and this is going to be an easy catch and a long way to run to get the first down. Obviously, the Panthers dropping 7 in coverage in the deep zone after that disastrous couple of plays. The Seahawks started this drive with a first down, a completion, and then from that point, go backwards.
They're going to try a long field goal here with Hauschka. His long this season is 48. This is a 58-yard attempt trying to get on the board. Ryan will hold it. Hauschka, 58 yards away. He drills it. Plenty of leg. That one may have been good from 68.
Well, his longest before this was 54, but this one is driven with the aid of some wind way up into the net.
Seattle puts points on the board. They trail in Carolina, 6-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by State Farm. Pump up your savings with a discount double check today.
Stephen Hauschka, who's a graduate student at NC State after leaving Division III Middlebury College, back in the state of North Carolina, and a 58-yard field goal for Hauschka. Now kicking it off. Burson and Webb, the deep man. Hauschka will not even allow them to touch it. Carolina will have it at the 20-yard line with 11 minutes to go in this first half. Tomorrow on CBS, it's a great night for comedy, beginning with the season premiere of Two Broke Girls, followed by a new episode of The Millers. It all starts tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only CBS.
And a couple of long drives for Carolina, just coming up with field goals each time. And that long field goal by Hauschka really has picked up the spirits of the Seahawks.
Double-digit plays on both drives for Carolina. Nate Chandler is back in there at right tackle. Foucault had been in on the previous possession as the medical staff was checking on Chandler. Dixon once again sets up as a fullback. Out of a pistol. Newton. Put a lot of mustard on that to Benjamin. And able to connect out on the perimeter.
Yeah, a real tight coverage by Richard Sherman, but where this ball is thrown high and away, And you can see those strong hands. This time he's not going to let it get through those gloves. Might had a touchdown catch on the last possession, but he couldn't make it in the back of the end zone. That one good for 6 yards.
Cam Newton talked about the upside of Benjamin. He said that he listens to him, he trusts him. He's got the 3 S's: size, speed, strength. So does Newton, by the way.
Yes, he does.
Cam Newton with those long strides for a 6-yard pickup. KJ Wright, the tackle down low.
I'd also give Newton another S, smart, because after he gets the first down, he gets down. Tremendous fake here. But this is the style of offense both Jonathan Stewart and Cam Newton are used to running from their college days. Stewart at Oregon and Cam from Auburn.
Another S, Superman.
Oh, absolutely. Wears it on his chest.
We'll come up with more S's. New set of downs. Against the grain. It's Stewart. Little juke move by Stewart. And Carolina continues to move the football against this Seattle D. 8-yard gain through the air.
They're doing a good job with the screen game right now. Khalil, the center, getting out in front.
Byron Bell was injured on that play. Starting left tackle now, Foucault will come in to replace him. Total yards, Stewart has outgained Seattle by himself.
There's 2 more S's too.
Are you keeping tabs or is that my job?
I'll do it.
2nd and 2 from the 40. Off the play fake. Ed Dixon. Oh, he fumbles the football. That was an issue for Dixon. Drops and fumbles back in his Baltimore days.
Now Malcolm Smith is late in coverage, but he recovers by punching this ball out right there. Ball will go out of bounds and remain Carolina ball. But that's a heck of a play by Malcolm Smith. The awareness that Dixon had the ball in the inside arm, the right arm, easy target for Smith to punch it out.
So 1st and 10 for Carolina. 8.5 remaining in this second quarter. Malcolm Smith has a knack for that. Interception in the Super Bowl for a touchdown, victimizing Peyton Manning. 131 total yards for Carolina. Gorgeous fake. Avant ends up with a football hit by Richard Sherman. They only pick up a yard.
And finally, you get to the third option of this read option offense. The fake to Stewart's 1. The threat of the run by Newton is 2. And then the pitch to the outside Avant is 3. Seattle was right there. In fact, Richard Sherman did a good job of defeating the block of the rookie Benjamin.
We asked Cam Newton about the matchup last year against Pete Carroll's team going against Richard Sherman and company, and he said, look, my reads were erratic. I've watched the tape. That has to improve against this team. There's still a lot of respect for the Seahawks defense around the league. Newton breaks free and connects with Olsen. Cam Chancellor with the stick and a penalty marker thrown at the 33-yard line. 5-yard pickup. Will it stand?
Now you can anticipate pass interference here or illegal contact against Seattle. What a job Newton did, though, to pull away from that pressure.
Illegal contact, 31, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Cam Chancellor on the penalty, which keep piling up for the Seahawks.
Here is Benjamin, and there's the contact as Chancellor was trying to get to his responsibility, the receiver on the outside. Well-designed pass play, having man-to-man coverage. And when you see that type of coverage, you're going to see picks, rubs, and sometimes called against the defense as it was that time.
Everybody just assumed that Seattle would actually lead the league in illegal contacts. That has not been the issue. Their penalties have come from a variety, but not necessarily on that call. Jonathan Stewart looks for an opening, and Stewart bangs his way inside the 40. JB, Bart Scott standing by. NFL Today update.
Geno Smith pulled 10 minutes into the first.
Michael Vick seizing the moment, getting it done with his legs and his arm. Punctuated by a 2-yard run by Chris Ivory. Jets respond. Buffalo 14, Jets 7.
13 plays, 76 yards by the New York Jets. I am Dan and Jenny.
Well, Jets won their first game of the season against Oakland. They have not won a game since. 2nd and 7 now after the 3-yard run by Stewart. Bell is back in there for Carolina. Newton twirls away. And Newton creates an opportunity. He's got the angle. Hit from behind, Cam Newton. Pressure from O'Brien Schofield, and Newton outruns him for the first down.
Well, he had to make a pretty good catch on that snap from Khalil. It bounces back to him, and then backpedaling. Here he picks up the convoy, though. Look at all the blockers out in front, including Byron Bell. Cliff Averill just clips his ankles as he goes out of bounds. That's a pretty good shortstop move right there by Cam Newton.
Newton ran about 35 yards to pick up 8. And it moves the chains. 1st and 10 at the 30. Darren Reeves, the rookie, is in there in the backfield. 11 first downs for Carolina, just 1 for Seattle. Reeves turns the corner but thrown down by Chancellor. Penalty marker on the play. Carolina is yet to be penalized here.
Defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty for a first down.
And another penalty against Seattle. This time Bruce Irvin.
That's twice now that Irvin is lined up in the neutral zone. Here he is right here. And you can see where the ball is and where his left hand is beyond the ball. The ball is the neutral zone.
Time of possession is all Carolina. 17:52 in this first half. Seattle has had the ball just over 6 minutes. Step move. Stewart with a blast. Jonathan Stewart running with confidence. First down, Panthers, an 11-yard rip by Stewart. Malcolm Smith down on the play for Seattle.
Now the rookie Norwell is going to get a key block here on the linebacker Malcolm Smith. Jonathan Stewart, who goes at about 5'10", is going to get real low here, break the pair of tackles, spin, and pick up another first down for the Panthers.
So it's Smith, who they are checking on right now, replacing the injured Bobby Wagner. We'll step aside. Working on the left leg of Malcolm Smith, Kevin Pierre Lewis, rookie out of Boston College, now steps in to replace him, 4th-round draft pick. Meanwhile, Carolina, another double-digit play drive. Ball is loose and a recovery by Seattle. Cliff Averill. The Panthers turn it over. Seattle's 6th takeaway in its 7th game this season.
Neither player wanted to let go of the ball. Stewart thinks he has it, and then Newton trying to pull it out as he reads the defense. The ball is on the ground.
So, Dan, they have just 6 points to show for these long, extended drives against the Seattle D.
Not good. Taking a lot of time off the clock, but with Hauschka's 58-yarder, and this turnover, a rare turnover for the Seahawks, just their 6th takeaway of the year. They have forced 10 fumbles, but they've only been able to recover 4 of them. But that was all on Newton and Stewart.
We've talked about Seattle's troubles. First takeaway on the road this season for Pete Carroll's club. Carolina started the season 2-0. They are 1-3-1 in their last 5 games. So the Seahawks take over at their own 16. Marshawn Lynch has been limited to just 2 yards so far. And Lynch comes up with 4. Roman Harper with the tackle. Will Seattle get back to the ground game that was so effective during their Super Bowl run last season?
Well, last week against the Rams, Pete Carroll says, we think we're back. We found the rhythm we need in the running game. Lynch had a couple of long runs called back because of penalties. But Carroll's very optimistic, as he usually is.
Lynch has been one of the premier backs in the NFL. Give it to Lynch again. Extra effort from Lynch. And he picks up 7 and a first down. A report earlier today regarding Lynch and his future with Seattle that The Seahawks reportedly were getting fed up with him. Our own Jason Lockhart saying that that's not necessarily the case right now, but there's been a lot of speculation. Look, last year, not to say that Seattle went completely under the radar, but they just went about their business. This year, a lot of scrutiny, national reporters coming in and doing some digging on the Seahawks. Lynch inside run for 4. That's going to happen. When you win at the level that Seattle did, the game changes a bit.
Well, and for Lynch, production has been down. It's not the normal Marshawn Lynch type of year. He's only had one 100-yard game, and that was in game 1 against the Packers.
Is it Lynch's fault, though, or has it been the play calling for Seattle that he hasn't gotten the same opportunities that he has had in previous years?
Well, Russell Wilson has had a couple of 100-yard rushing games, so his ability to run has taken carries away from Lynch.
2nd and 6. This time it's Robert Turbin. Turbin carries across the 35 for a 4-yard pickup. Charles Johnson will get credit for the tackle for Carolina. We are under 3 minutes to play in this fast-moving first half.
And you think about Russell Wilson running, he's averaging better than 8.5 yards a carry. Had that huge 52-yarder last week against St. Louis. 3rd down now for Seattle, where they're only been good for 40% of the time so far this season converting.
3rd and 1. Operating out of the gun. Movement. Penalty markers down. No penalties against Carolina yet.
This might be on low to Lele.
Encroachment, number 95, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
I'll take your pick. It will work against Carolina, and it does give Seattle a first down. 3rd first down of the first half for the Seahawks, who only trail 6-3. Carolina, 12 first downs. But a 58-yard field goal from Hauschka. Seattle defense holding Carolina twice to field goals after long drives. 1st and 10 across the 40. We come up on 2 minutes to play. Quick hitter to the outside. Curse spun down after the gain of 3 by Deku, the former Atlanta Falcon.
Quick screen outside to Curse with a blocker in front, but the reaction, quick reaction by Deku. And really, when you think about this Seattle pass offense without Percy Harvin, there's nobody in this receiving corps that threatens you deep, that scares you as a defensive coordinator.
2-minute warning in the 2nd quarter. Carolina holding on to a 6-3 lead. 2nd and 7 for Seattle. Remember, Seahawks took over after the fumble by Cam Newton. Seahawks have 2 timeouts to work with, 2 minutes to play in this first half. Wilson on a rope. It's caught. Baldwin in Carolina territory across the 40. 18 yards on the pass play.
That's a great sign for the Seahawks. Baldwin hanging with this pass, out in front just a bit. Good reaction to pull it back in.
Seattle working quickly here. Wilson once again from the gun. Wilson out of the pocket. Wilson gets away and throws on the move. It's dropped by Lynch. He's pushed from behind at the end of the play. Mario Addison put the heat on Russell Wilson.
A tremendous move by Russell Wilson doing his Fran Tarkington imitation here with the reverse pivot away from Addison. Eyes down the field, finds Lynch, but Lynch can't pull it in. Kuechly lucky he didn't get thrown for a penalty thrown against him for hitting Lynch in the back after the ball was clearly out of bounds.
Kuechly was ejected in the game last week in the 3rd quarter after making contact with an official. The NFL will not fine him, basically admitting that he should not have been thrown out of the game. Wilson, the toss underneath. Turbin, big hit, a stamp. Thomas Davis delivers.
Davis is having a pretty good first half, and this shot has J.R. Sweezy down with his helmet off. You think that was loud for your television? How would you like to be inside those helmets?
3rd and 8 now. Sweezy injured on the play.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. More live games than ever before with NFL Mobile. And by Cialis.
J.R. Sweezy was shaken up on the play. He has his helmet on the sideline. He's replaced on this play by Alvin Bailey, the second-year offensive lineman from Arkansas. This is a 3rd and 8 now for Seattle. They are yet to convert on 3rd down. 0 of 3. Play fake, high throw. Baldwin creating after the catch, and Baldwin has got a first down. Doug Baldwin using that speed. 14-yard pickup.
Yeah, and he got blocking out in front, too. And Wilson gets the ball out quickly. You can see how the open spaces that Baldwin had before contact.
Seattle going no huddle with 50 seconds to play. Sweezy is back in there for the Seahawks. Shotgun. Wilson, pump and throw underneath to Curse. Inside the 10. First down for Seattle. 1st and goal after the 12-yard pickup. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. That's coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
You're watching Russell Wilson buy time with his legs, that time reading the defense and getting excellent pass protection from his offensive line. So far this season, he's been sacked 14 times, but just once here in the first half.
Seattle, no timeouts remaining, 39 seconds left on the clock. They have a chance to take the lead here. James Carpenter is out for Seattle on the O-line. Alvin Bailey now slots in at left guard. Red zone offense, they've been mediocre. Ranked 15th in the league, 58% touchdown rate.
And the fact they don't have any timeouts really doesn't matter, because this part of the field, Wilson can kill the clock by throwing the ball away anywhere, out of the back of the end zone or to the sidelines.
1st and goal. Motion man is Baldwin. Seahawks looking to take the lead here. Wilson knocked up in the air, incomplete. Star Latulele getting a piece.
Latulele, just 6'2", but watch him get that left hand up there. Wilson, of course, not very tall himself at 5'11", maybe. That's a big play by Latulele.
Do you just like saying it?
Well, I wanted to get it right this time and not have that gap in there.
Oh, you didn't like that pregnant pause earlier? I liked it. I thought you were putting your own little accent on it. 2nd and goal for Seattle. 33 seconds left. Wilson, protection holds up initially. Wilson throws. Lynch makes the catch. Lynch out of bounds. They will mark him at the 6-yard line.
Well, there's conversation there, though, that he may have been out of bounds when he caught the ball. His left foot may have been on the sideline. Both officials got together to see. But no, he was clearly in bounds, and once he caught it, that heel did go out of bounds to stop the clock.
So they're going to mark him out, though, at the 7. 3rd and goal for Seattle. 25 seconds remaining in this first half.
This is where it's a real benefit to have such a mobile quarterback like Russell Wilson. A lot of options for him here.
Seahawks looking to go in front. Wilson fires. Intercepted! It glanced off Marshawn Lynch and picked off by Josh Norman. Norman still going. Tackled across the 25. Carolina's defense comes up huge late stages of the first half.
It should have been a touchdown for Seattle. Lynch right at the goal line. If he makes the catch, he scores. Ball is zipped in there by Russell Wilson right through the hands of Lynch. second interception of the season for Josh Norman, and he wasn't done after he caught it. Great reaction there to high point this ball and turn away the Seahawks.
13 plays, no points for Seattle. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. First red zone turnover of the season for Seattle. Both teams combined 4 red zone appearances, yet only 6 points from those appearances inside the 20.
That is the end of the first half.
Carolina with a 6-3 lead at halftime. Both teams entering action at 500. The Panthers 3-3-1. The Seahawks, defending champions, 3-3. Downstairs, Jenny Dell with Pete Carroll.
Coach, there's been so many distractions that the media have said coming into this game. Do you feel that those have impacted the players?
Not at all. No, our guys are really solid in our locker room. We have no distractions. So a lot of talk. It ain't about what's going on in our locker room.
What do you need to do to produce more scoring opportunities in the second?
We got to slow them down better. You know, they've been holding on the football pretty well. We got to get off on third down. Had a couple penalties that hurt us too. It looks kind of like it's balanced out now. Let's see if we can win the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Jenny, good stuff. End of the first half here in Charlotte. 6-3, the Panthers on top of the Seahawks. We'll come back, Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Ball is loose and a recovery by Seattle. Little shaken big move. Richardson's got a lane. Intercepted, picked off by Josh Norman. NFL on CBS from Charlotte, getting ready for the start of the second half. The Panthers leading the Seahawks 6-3. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Wasted opportunities. That'll be the theme for both coaches when they talk to their teams at halftime. And for Pete Carroll, he continues to downplay all of the distractions. We both know a loss here for the Seahawks, and the questions will compound.
Well, where there's smoke, there's fire. That's what I've been told. But, you know, when you look at Seattle, does that look like the Super Bowl championship team?
No.
If that was last year, they would have taken that last possession in without a problem and taken the lead, or at least gotten a field goal out of it. So this team defensively playing a lot better for Pete Carroll, but offensively just nothing in that first quarter, and then that huge turnover the last possession.
And if you're Carolina, you move the football so well in that first half, yet you only have 6 points to show for it. Cam Newton, a fumble on an exchange or a lack thereof to James Stewart. And the Panthers find themselves in front 6-3, and they'll get the football to start this second half after deferring. Hauschka kicks it off. It is Burson on the return. Gaping hole up the middle. Burson slowed down at the 35 and then brought down as he crossed the 45. 50-yard return. Let's check in with Jenny Dell.
I just spoke with Coach Rivera. He said they've had some long extended drives, but only 6 points on the board is unacceptable. He said we need to get the ball into the end zone. He said the defense has been playing well. They need to keep it up. And the main thing is expect the unexpected from the Seahawks. Take that how you like, guys.
Well, it's been a lot of unexpected results for the Seattle Seahawks. It's a team that was 13-3 last year. They've already lost 3 games this season. Carolina enters action at 3-3-1, yet they lead the NFC South over New Orleans, who's in second place at 2-4. Stewart gets the call. Stewart's got a first down. Nate Chandler with a block out front.
And you know Jonathan Stewart's got to be fired up playing against the Seahawks, native of Lacey, Washington. This is his best run of the day. Gets the blockers out in front. Good job by the center, Khalil. And then just dragging tacklers, overpowering Malcolm Smith right here for 5 extra yards of the 18 he gained.
Dan, remember, Smith left the game earlier, a groin injury. He is back in there for Seattle, but clearly not at 100%. Already dealing with injuries at linebacker. Stewart, they have established the run here, and that was A big theme for Carolina leading into this one. 3-yard pickup. Greg Scruggs, first man there. First half numbers, 153 total yards for Carolina. Seattle held to 102 time of possession, nearly double in favor of the Panthers.
A good kickoff return by Burson really picked up this Panther offense. They've had problems once they get in the red zone. Been good so far getting to it, but not converting.
Second and 7 now, just short of the 34-yard line of Seattle. First possession of the second half. Couple of fakes from Newton. Dials up the deep ball. Benjamin extending out. Matched one-on-one by Richard Sherman, the Pro Bowler.
Yeah, they're stride for stride down the sideline. Sherman with a good bump there. Look at them both eye that ball, and it's just thrown about a yard too far. Benjamin behind Sherman. Good clean play by Richard Sherman as that ball uncatchable.
Complete overhaul at the wide receiver spot during the offseason by Carolina with the drafting of Benjamin, signing of veterans Cotchery and Avant. Burson getting an opportunity as well off the practice squad. 3rd and 7 now. Delayed rush. Newton. A fling. Dangerous play. Stepping in front. Marcus Burley. And Burley is out of bounds. Turnover. Seattle comes up with the football as Cam Newton goes into panic mode.
Yeah, really a poor decision by Newton right here. Trying to get it to Greg Olsen. Olsen had stopped. Did not expect that flip. And there's Burley with the pick. And a big play for Seattle defensively. Just their 3rd interception of the season. And just what Pete Carroll and company need to right this ship.
Greg Scruggs put the pressure on Cam Newton, who's shaking his head in disgust on the Carolina sideline.
And there was a lot of indecision before that ball was snapped. Jonathan Stewart getting into position at the line of scrimmage in the slot a little bit late. And as you talked about, that delayed blitz really caught Newton and the Panthers by surprise.
This is a Seattle team that had 39 takeaways last season, now 7 this season. Lynch blasted in the backfield. Marshawn Lynch unable to get ahead of steam. K'Wan Short made sure of it. It's a loss of 3.
Well, 99 is short. He gets right inside of Alvin Bailey. Remember, Bailey playing left guard now for the Seahawks. And the quickness of Short continues to frustrate Marshawn Lynch.
And the recurring theme for Cam Newton, 4 straight games with 1 or more interceptions. 2nd and 13 now. Lynch and Turbin behind Wilson. Stutter step. Marshawn Lynch just can't get going. It's a gain of 2 for Lynch.
Well, they got to take advantage of this opportunity. They didn't in the first half. The muff punt by Burson. Seahawks failed to recover. Then they failed to intercept that ball by Harold Simon. And then the interception off the hands of Marshawn Lynch. That snuffed out any scoring potential at the end of the first half for Seattle.
A 58-yard field goal by Hauschka. That's all the points Seattle has to show for this Sunday afternoon in Carolina. 3rd and 11 now for the Seahawks. Wilson on a slant. He hooks up with Lockett. Penalty marker thrown. Out across the 35.
They're going to call holding against the Panthers here. That'll be an automatic first down for Seattle.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 24, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Now pivotal, and this has been an area of concern for Ron Rivera in that secondary.
There's Norman. There's the grab on Lockett. Heck of a catch by Lockett with Norman all over him. Norman, of course, his first interception of the season at the end of the first half, but he gets called for holding there.
They released Veteran defensive back Charles Godfrey this week. He was coming off Achilles surgery, hadn't been effective. People thought maybe they were sending a message. We asked Rivera about it. He said, no, that was not a message. That was just a personnel decision made by the team.
But I think the message got through, even though it wasn't a message.
Sometimes there are messages even when it's not intended. That's pretty deep. Robert Turbin going up the middle for 5. Luke Kuechly was hit on the play as Turbin dished out the punishment on the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. A couple of carries for Turbin, 10 yards. Seattle searching for something here on the ground. Marshawn Lynch, 7 carries, 16 yards. Remember, Russell Wilson had 300 yards passing and 100 yards rushing last week. First quarterback ever to do that in a single game, and that loss to St. Louis. 2nd and 5. Take the jet sweep. And Lynch is driven down, trying to work the perimeter. Picks up 4 yards. Coney Ealy, rookie out of Missouri, in on the play.
Well, the Panthers doing a lot better job in this game defensively of keeping the running backs, whether it's Turbin or Lynch, from cutting back. They're trying to stretch to the sideline that time, but as Lynch tried to cut it back up the field, there was Ealy.
3rd and 1 now for Seattle. 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversion so far today. 6-3 lead for Carolina. 5 minutes gone by in the 3rd. Working out of the pistol. Marshawn Lynch. 1st down. Working for those 4 yards.
Yeah, tight end Luke Wilson and Russell Okun on that side did a good job of providing the power here. Watch this block here by Wilson, and then Okun gets on the linebacker, and Lynch lowers his shoulders and gets the 1st down.
Marshawn Lynch, in his 8th year in the league, he is a violent runner, and that's been his trademark back to his Buffalo days as well. Seattle sticking with the game plan here. 1st and 10 inside the 25. Bootleg. Wilson throws. Little high for Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson is back from injury. He missed last week's game with groin trouble.
Well, Mario Addison does a nice job of forcing this ball to be thrown high. He did not go for the fake, and he was in position on the bootleg. And Luke Wilson, unable to haul it in with one hand. But good play that time by Mario Addison.
Russell Wilson is 11 of 17, 88 yards and a pick.
And he's yet to rush the ball today.
Handoff. No, he'll keep it and throw. Oh, he had him. Could not connect with Cooper Helfet. Wilson, normally excellent on those touch throws.
He was close to being over the line of scrimmage, too. I wonder if that affected this throw. He didn't even have a grip on that ball. Helfet was so wide open here. Add this to the missed opportunity list. He never had control of the ball.
Helfet had a touchdown last week in the 2-point loss in St. Louis. This is now a 3rd and 10 for Seattle. Wilson gets out of it. Looking downfield, Humphrey, Wilson. Oh, pretty run by Wilson as he's banged out inside the 10. Charles Johnson with the hit, but 14 yards on the scramble. 1st and goal, Seattle.
Yeah, his first carry of the day. Watch the move here on Anton Kaysen, number 20. Kaysen thinking he may go out of bounds. He jumps back inside, picks up extra yards and the 1st down before Johnson can blast him out of bounds.
We asked Ron Rivera, how do you defend Russell Wilson? He said, set the edge, and he told his players, don't jump. That's what he wants on those pump fakes. 1st and goal from the 9. Handoff. Lynch. Flag thrown. Lynch upended before he could hit the 5.
They're going to get Luke Wilson for holding.
Thomas Deku with the hit.
Holding, number 82, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Now on the wing is Wilson. That's Kaysen, number 20. Looking to grab both shoulders and turn Kaysen around. Pretty easy call, especially out in the open field like that. You can see the flag come in.
So back it up now from the 18-yard line of Carolina. First and goal for Pete Carroll's squad. 10th holding penalty this season. That's tied for most in the NFL with Dallas. Seattle has the most overall penalties in the league. Turbin now in the backfield. Play fake. Wilson looking, extends the play, throws. Wilson could not haul it in. Incomplete.
Now the big hit by Anton Kaysen is going to knock this ball out. Watch number 20 come up and just drill Wilson in the back. Actually, it's Kuechly that comes over. Kuechly from his middle linebacker spot, finding this ball in the air and the receiver at the right time.
So another red zone opportunity here for Seattle. Wilson thought he had Luke Wilson, no relation. 10th play of the drive. Second and goal for the Seahawks. From the gun. Over the middle. This time it's hauled in by Baldwin, but a modest gain of 7. Kuechly with another tackle, leading the NFL in that category.
And that's what Wilson has to do, is get back, get rid of the ball. He's been having too many times where he's had to scramble around and try to locate a receiver. But you're right, they have got to capitalize on this field position and this opportunity after the interception.
Third and goal for the Seahawks. Wilson, incomplete. It was off to the side of the intended receiver, Helfet. Field goal unit comes on for Seattle.
Now just slightly thrown behind Helfet. He might have had a touchdown if he gets this ball out in front, but you can see Wilson leaves his feet to throw this ball. Once you do that, you lose all the steam off the ball and your accuracy suffers.
29-yard attempt. That is half the distance that Hauschka made earlier from 58. Hauschka knocks it through. We are tied at 6-6. Both teams combined 5 red zone appearances, no touchdowns. Wilson had Helfet wide open earlier in the drive, unable to convert. With NFL Mobile, stream live local Sunday afternoon primetime games and NFL Red Zone right on your mobile device. Learn more at NFL.com/mobile. 6-all, Seattle and Carolina, 7:13 to play in this third quarter. Battle in the NFC here on CBS. Coming up later tonight, Murder, She Wrote. Hauschka kicks it off. Delayed. Joe Webb off the stutter step. Crosses the 20-yard line. We come up on 7 minutes to go in the third. Cam Newton back on the field when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the all-new 2015 Acura TLX. It's that kind of thrill.
Red zone offense, that has been a problem for both teams, and that's a big part of the reason why we're tied at 6. Carolina has the football just short of the 25. Eden sets up the screen for Stewart. Brought down by Pierre Lewis, who's now in for Malcolm Smith, slowed down by the groin injury, 2-yard gain.
Well, let's go back to the missed opportunity here. Here's Helfet and Josh Norman, but the ball snapped at the 23-yard line. And I guarantee you that Russell Wilson was worried about crossing the line of scrimmage, never had control of the ball, and missed a wide-open Helfet who would have walked in for a touchdown.
2nd and 8 now for Carolina. Stewart, 11 carries, 55 yards, 3 catches for 15 yards. Fake it. Newton trying to cut it back as he hits the 30-yard line, but Earl Thomas able to hold his ground and bring down big Cam Newton. Talked to Earl Thomas about the chemistry questions. He said the team felt very connected this week in practice. Talked about the body language. Just had to trust him on that. And he felt like they were getting back into their old practice habits. No distractions. He said it's all tunnel vision. But people keep bringing up the distractions, which becomes a distraction.
Well, and when you take advantage of opportunities, what are you? You're distracted.
3rd and 3 here for Carolina. Flags come down. Play never gets going.
False start, number 77, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's against Byron Bell, replacing the veteran Jordan Gross, who retired prior to the season. They've been really banged up on the offensive line. No Amini Silatolu, no Trey Turner. So Norwell and Velasco have played inside for Carolina. 3rd and 8 now. Panthers are 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Working out of the gun. Newton throws. Should have been intercepted. It was not. KJ Wright. Panthers will punt.
Well, defensive coordinator Dan Quinn dials up the blitz this time, and they get to Newton and force that poor decision and even poorer throw. Ball is almost end over end there, and certainly another missed opportunity to give the Seahawks great field position with a drop by KJ Wright.
It is the first punt of the day for Carolina, and Richard Sherman is back there. Brad Nordman will punt it. Sherman heads towards the sideline. Flag is down. Sherman weaving his way through traffic. Brought down just short of the 35. Penalty marker on the play. Trey Boston with the special teams hit.
They may get Thurl Simon of the Seahawks for this penalty.
48-yard punt, 8-yard return for Sherman.
During the kick, holding number 27 of the return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down.
It is Simon, and they will back it up for the Seahawks. All knotted up at 6 apiece. 5:13 to go in the 3rd. Tomorrow on CBS, it's a case so big, these geniuses will need some help. NCIS Los Angeles' Linda Hunt guest stars on a new Scorpion tomorrow at 9, 8 Central only. CBS. Kristen Michael gets the carry and picks up 6 yards on 1st down, brought down by Davis. We sent it downstairs to Jenny Dell.
Well, guys, just something to keep an eye on, number 77, James Carpenter. He was actually just carted off the field. I was told it was a lower back injury on the left side. He's back in the game right now, but keep your eyes peeled. He was stretching it out with trainers. Really started through the 2nd quarter, but back in the game at this point.
Yeah, Jenny, Alvin Bailey has shifted in on a couple of occasions, once for Sweezy and then stepped in for Carpenter on that offensive line. And off, Michael. So a couple of chances here for the 2nd-year running back out of Texas A&M. Down on the play is K'Wan Short, who turns over on his back for Carolina. Training staff will come on to check on Short. It's a 3rd and 4 coming up for Seattle when we come back to Carolina.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new 2015 Acura TLX. It's that kind of thrill. And by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
Full house here in Charlotte. K'Wan Short just walked off on his own. It's a 3rd and 4 for Seattle. Richardson, the motion man. We come up on 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Wilson pump, the flip. Oh, heads up play. Robert Turbin, the catch and run for 21 yards. Russell Wilson improvising.
Well, you talked about Ron Rivera being concerned with his players jumping in the air. trying to block Wilson's passes. Otulele blocked one in the first quarter, but that time Wilson very cool in the pocket, knowing that pressure's coming, pitches that ball forward for 21 yards.
And Marshawn Lynch is back in there with Turbin stepping in for Derek Coleman, usually the starting fullback who's out for an extended period of time. Bootleg, Wilson sets, deep ball, uncorks one, incomplete. Richardson with Norman and Deku back there defensively.
It's worth a shot. The Seahawks could use a shot in the arm here, and Wilson tries to give it to Richardson, the speedster out of Colorado. But look at that coverage by the Panthers. Over the top is Norman, and then Deku comes just to make sure and almost got to this deflection.
Panthers have given up 37 points or more in 4 of their last 5 games. They allowed 30 points or more just once last season. They held Seattle to 6. It's Lynch. By far best run of the day. Marshawn Lynch into Carolina territory. Those legs keep on moving. 25 yards for Lynch. Harper got carried along with Kaysen as Lynch got extra yardage.
And Luke Wilson leading the way from a fullback spot, gets a good block on Kuechly, but this is what Seahawk fans have been missing today. A lot of Seahawk fans here made the trip across the country. They were all screaming, "Beast, beast," as he carried tacklers to the 30.
10 carries, 49 yards for Lynch. Line of scrimmage. The 30-yard line of Carolina. New set of downs for Seattle. Wilson loses the ball on a poor exchange. Kristen Michael, the running back, it's a loss of 3.
Yeah, a little frustration for Russell Wilson. He's trying to pull this ball out quickly. He saw an opening on the outside. The ball hit the hip of Michael. And heads up by Wilson to get on this quickly, but he did not pull the ball out fast enough. And that's why the exchange on the fumble on the exchange.
2nd and 13 now for Seattle. Spread formation. Wilson out of the gun. Tied at 6. Wilson gets rid of it quickly, and he's got Ricardo Lockett. Lockett brought down just short of a first down. Antoine Kaysen with the hit for Carolina. Well, Cam Newton, 9 of 14, 91 yards and a pick. He's got 11 carries for 25 yards.
The time of possession has really started to even out in this ball game. It was all Carolina in the first half, and Seattle's done a good job with it here in the second.
Extra offensive lineman here for Seattle on a 3rd and 1. Lynch in the backfield. Lynch sets up as the fullback. Wilson loses the ball. Carolina jumps on it. Mario Addison comes out of the pack with it. Huge mistake from the Seattle offense.
Well, they had Marshawn Lynch lined up as a fullback on this play, but the exchange, the ball never got up to the quarterback. Bad snap by Stephen Schilling.
Major miscue for Seattle. First game this season with multiple turnovers. Carolina gets it back, tied at 6. Newton, play fake. Late stages of the 3rd. Newton out of the pocket, throwing on the move. Hauled in! Kelvin Benjamin with the snatch.
Well, this is why they're so excited about this young man. Look at that catch above Sherman. Sherman in perfect position here, but again, Newton throws it high for his 6'5" wide receiver.
Toss in the wingspan that Benjamin brings. 20 yards on the completion. And 35 seconds to go here in the 3rd. Jonathan Stewart runs inside for a 4-yard pickup. Michael Bennett with a tackle. Kelvin Benjamin, he and Cam Newton traveled to Atlanta, to Newton's hometown. Benjamin was limping a bit going back to the huddle. said to Cam Newton, he said, I've never been to Atlanta. And Cam said, young fella, you're going to have a lot of young new experiences coming your way in the NFL.
Especially when we travel to New York.
Yeah.
And Benjamin said, I'm not sure I can handle New York.
Yeah. They'll handle it. Injured player is Kevin Pierre-Louis, who is in for the injured Malcolm Smith, dealing with a groin injury. So Brock Coyle, a rookie out of Montana, undrafted free agent, is getting ready to come in for Seattle. Already down, Bobby Wagner out with the turf toe injury, and he could miss several more weeks.
Yeah, with this 6-6 tie, both these teams struggling this year, just begs the question, which team wants this game more? They both have made so many mistakes here.
You think back to last season as Coyle is now on the field. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. Storybook year for Pete Carroll. Everything broke right. Carolina came together as a group, went 12-4. The development maturity of Cam Newton. And here we are now at the midway point of 2014, and they're searching. End of 3. 6-all. Panthers and Seahawks. We'll return to Charlotte after this message and a word from your local station. The fourth quarter is next. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Numbers have evened out through 3 quarters of play. Seattle and Carolina tied at 6. We are underway in the fourth here in Charlotte. And it's Stewart driving across midfield. Jonathan Stewart has run it well. 7-yard gain for Carolina.
A lot of miscues by both teams. Fumble on the exchange between Newton and Stewart. Then a interception. The ball goes right through the hands of Lynch. Norman picks it off. Poor decision by Newton there. Picked off by Burley. And then Russell Wilson misses a walk-in touchdown to help it. And then it's all finished off in that last series when the Seahawks in field goal range. Bad snap by Schilling and a turnover for the Seahawks.
Remember, Schilling is in for the injured Max Unger. Hasn't played since week 5. Strained foot. Stewart met by Simon. 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Carolina in Seattle territory. So Jonathan Stewart, 67 yards on the ground. Not only the injury to D'Angelo Williams, but they also lost Mike Tolbert, the hybrid fullback and tailback. He's on IR, designated to return. Hairline fracture in his left leg.
And Fozzie Whitaker, the second-year player out of Texas, is inactive today.
He's out with a thigh injury. 2nd and 9 now for Carolina. Shotgun. Low throw. Incomplete. Jericho Cotchery, the intended target. Pressure coming from Cliff Averill. Standings in the NFC West for Seattle, trailing Arizona by 2 games. Trailing San Francisco by half a game. Obviously, Seattle still has a couple of matchups with Arizona within the division. You make up ground in those head-to-heads.
Well, they played both the 49ers and the Cardinals twice in the last 6 games of the season. So they'll have a shot, but they do not want to fall back any further.
3rd and 9 for the Panthers. Newton fakes the flip, throws, and it's incomplete. Opportunity there for Seattle to come up with it. Earl Thomas comes flying in. Pass was ruled incomplete, and Carolina will punt.
Now defensively, Seattle is really starting to frustrate Cam Newton. That was a screen pass that wasn't going to go anywhere. He's lucky that it wasn't picked off by 2 or 3 of the Seahawks. They were right in the middle of that screen.
He's now 10 of 17 for 111 yards and a pick. Richard Sherman is the deep man once again. Nortman will punt it for the 2nd time. Comes in averaging just under 49 yards per kick. Sherman standing at his own 7-yard line waiting for it. Nortman trying to place it deep in Seattle territory. Sherman moves forward to secure it after the 31-yard punt. Seattle will take over. All tied up at 6 apiece. Coming up next, the NFL on CBS rolls on. Andrew Luck and the Colts versus Big Ben and the Steelers, or the Raiders and the Browns do battle. Check your local listings. First and 10 for Seattle from the 16-yard line. Handed off, Marshawn Lynch. And he'll pick up a yard or two. Seattle has been dominant at home. That has not been the case on the road. Just above 500 since the start of the 2012 season at 10-9.
And the big thing, the differential in turnovers, unbelievable. A lot of that has to do with that great crowd at CenturyLink.
The 12th man in Seattle wins over Green Bay, Denver in overtime, and Washington this season. Losses to San Diego, Dallas, and St. Louis. Seahawks believe they're only a couple of plays away from being 5-1. Wilson, floater to the outside. Turbin. Catch and run by Turbin. Luke Kuechly could not bring him down initially, so Turbin turns it into a first down, 9-yard gain.
Yeah, great job by Turbin, making the catch and then just racing to the sideline, lowering his shoulder, getting all his momentum going forward, and he'll just carry Kuechly beyond the first down marker.
We got a lot of talent at that running back spot between Lynch, Turbin, and Michael. Turbin showing off his versatility by playing fullback. 3 catches, 32 yards for Turbin. But Baldwin involved. Baldwin hit hard. Gets right up. Baldwin brings an edge in the way he plays the game. Smacked by Thomas Davis. 9-yard gain. Signed to a 3-year, $13 million deal. Baldwin out of Stanford. Undrafted free agent. Competitive. Just knows how to get open. And has become the favorite target of one Russell Wilson.
And will be counted on, already the leading receiver coming into the game for the Seahawks. But with Harvin gone, he is now the main man.
2nd and 1 for the Seahawks. The clock is winding down. Handed off to Michael. Going down low, Christian Michael. Powerful running style. And it is enough for a first down. Here we talk about the wide receivers, Dan, and the lack of experience. If you add up all of their receptions, it's the lowest total in the NFL for any group of wide receivers in the league. Kearse in his 3rd year, Baldwin in his 4th year, Lockett in his 4th year, Richardson's a rookie, Norwood's a rookie. 10.5 to play in the 4th, deadlocked at 6. Hole is there, and Michael shoots through it for a 4-yard pickup. Good block out front by the rookie out of Missouri, Justin Britt, starting at right tackle.
And finally, Marshawn Lynch will come back into the lineup. We've seen Michael and Turbin on this series of plays so far, with Lynch resting on the sideline, and both Turbin and Michael have done a good job.
Seattle's been mixing and matching in the running game. Lynch has 51 yards rushing. Wilson has 15, Michael with 12, and Turbin with 10. Operating out of the gun on a 2nd and 6, under 10 minutes to play. Wilson, over the middle, incomplete. Once again, Marshawn Lynch unable to haul it in.
Yeah, this is a poorly thrown ball. Lynch had his man beat to the inside. You can see a little wry smile from Lynch right there. But that ball was thrown behind him. He couldn't quite grab it with his right hand.
Last year against Carolina, Wilson had 320 yards passing. He's been held to 146 here today. Time of possession basically even for these two. And so is the score. Crowd is revved up on a 3rd and 6 for Seattle. Wilson, quick throw and nobody home. Baldwin the target. And this drive stalls for the Seahawks.
Well, the blitz on the outside came right in the face of Wilson. Didn't have anybody there to pick up the blitzing corner from the slot. And Kuechly with a good job of finding where Baldwin is, bringing him to the ground. He thought he still had the ball.
So John Ryan out to punt it. Burson had a problem early in the day. on a muff punt. Low snap. Ryan handles it. End over end. Fair catch called for. Wide. At the 8. Person had nobody around him. 50-yard punt. No return. Carolina is pinned deep in its own territory. Nice play by Ryan to handle that one cleanly. Fourth quarter action continues from Charlotte.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. Verizon, more live games than ever before with NFL Mobile. And by Chili's, where fresh is happening now.
Defense has been the name of the game. Seattle and Carolina tied at 6 with 9:33 to go in the fourth. Cam Newton and the Panthers offense with a 1st and 10 from the 8. Look out! Newton breaks away. He avoids the safety and throws it out of bounds. Michael Bennett had a chance to give Seattle the lead.
Well, Michael Bennett, 6'4", 274, trying to bring down the 245-pound Newton. Watch him, Newton bend his knees here, and Bennett goes right over the top. You talk about some strength in a quarterback. Man, that's awesome. A 2-point play here, averted by Superman.
2nd and 10 for Carolina. Newton is 10 of 18 for 111 yards and a pick. Running play. Newton will keep it. Dragged down. Couldn't break away from the rookie Pierre Lewis. Loss of 1 on the play.
Now the Seahawks are really playing this read option well, especially when Newton pulls the ball out and tries to carry it himself.
These two teams were ranked 1 and 2 in the NFL last season in total defense. Seattle number 1, Carolina number 2. The defense has dropped off this season for both clubs, but strong showings defensively here today. 3rd and 11 now for Carolina. Deep drop. Newton pulls the trigger on a deep ball. It's caught! Oh, what a grab by Benjamin! The rookie climbs the imaginary ladder for a 50-yard reception.
Right between Sherman and Thomas, 2 of the best. He just went up, sandwiched by Seahawks, and the ball finds his hands and not Sherman's. Sherman actually had a better shot at it because he's higher, but the ball slips through his hands right to the rookie sensation. Man, you won't find a better catch between 2 of the finest defensive backs in the NFL.
Longest play of the year for Carolina. The first-year wideout in between 2 Pro Bowlers. Stewart up the middle. They soften up this Seattle D. Andrew Norwell with a good block, springing Stewart for 6 yards. We're down to 7:34 remaining in the fourth.
Yeah, Andrew Norwell is having a pretty good game at that left guard spot. But go back to that safety that should have been by Michael Bennett. And all of a sudden, now you're at the 36-yard line of the Seahawks.
2nd and 4 for Carolina. Stewart behind Newton. Hand it off to Stewart. Spin move. Stewart hit as he crossed the 30-yard line. 7-yard gain and a first down for Carolina.
Well, there are ways a quarterback can beat you, but this is really unusual. Michael Bennett about 3 yards deep in the end zone, looking for his 4th sack of the season and a safety. Can't bring down Newton. A couple of plays later, here we are, 1st and 10 inside the 30.
Panthers are in business, driving the ball. Reeves gets the call. Gain of 1 on the forward progress. KJ Wright will get credit for the stop. Clock is rolling. We'll hit 6.5 minutes to play in the fourth.
And the one thing that in talking to Ron Rivera about Kelvin Benjamin, he says, well, you know, he needs to get better on his releases from the press coverage, and you know, he can't always rely on his size against these NFL corners. Well, he's relied on it tonight or this afternoon with a couple of great catches.
It was 3rd and 8, officially goes down as a 51-yard catch for Carolina. Newton. Big loss. Seattle's defense comes up with a major play here in the 4th from Brandon Mebane.
Well, the coverage is going to be really good for Seahawks on this play, but this sack may take the Panthers out of field goal range. Lose 9 yards on this play. Here comes Mebane, and actually Newton ran into Mebane.
Now they face a 3rd and 18. They're just looking for yardage to get Graham Gano into some legitimate range. Shotgun. Newton rushes on. Newton releases. It's caught by Cotchery. So they get back that yardage, and now we'll send Gano onto the field. That's a 9-yard pickup brought down by Burley of Seattle.
That's always been Cotchery's trademark, though, is his strong hands. Burley was right on his back. The ball thrown perfectly by Newton. And Cotchery made the catch, reaching out with strong hands.
Gano has a long of 53 this season. This is a 46-yard attempt. He's 2 of 2 on the day. Carolina looking for the lead. Nortman holds it from 46 yards away. He's got it. 9-6. Panthers. 4:37 remaining. We're in the 4th. The NFL on CBS. Carolina has a 9-6 lead over Seattle. 4:37 to play in the 4th. The kick from Gano, and it just dies. Richardson will scoop it up. And a touchback. Russell Wilson now down by 3, leading the Seattle offense, trying to get out of the fumble.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Subway Restaurants. Subway. Train hard, eat fresh.
Carolina leading Seattle. Seahawks have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line with 4:37 to play, trying to avoid dipping under the 500 mark. Marshawn Lynch, single setback. Bootleg. Wilson throws and connects to Cooper Helfet. Helfet thrown down after the gain of 10. It's not only hard to repeat as the defending Super Bowl champions, it's difficult to win a playoff game the following year. Have to go back to 2005. Super Bowl winner has won a playoff game the year after winning the big one.
And one of the major factors in this is players moving on. Free agency. You can't blame the players for capitalizing on the financial rewards, but it does change the following year's team.
First down just across the 30. Wilson, quick throws. He hits Norwood.
Yeah, Norwood got this ball in self-defense. Great timing with Wilson firing this ball. But, the question now for Seattle is who's going to make the play? We saw Kelvin Benjamin do it for Carolina with that 51-yarder between Sherman and Thomas on a 3rd and long. Who will be that guy for Seattle now?
They move the chains for Seattle after the 11-yard hookup. 1st and 10 across the 40. Movement, a jump. James Carpenter.
Start, number 77, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Now we've got plenty of guys who are culprits in this field goal only football game, and that type of play there just stalls the momentum that the Seahawks had in the last 2 plays. A couple of completions by Russell Wilson.
7 penalties costing them 41 yards. Wilson, 167 yards and a pick. Cam Newton, 171 yards and an INT. On 1st and 15, they fake the blitz. Wilson steps up. Wilson's got some room. Wilson will hit midfield and also get hit in the process. 14 yards for Wilson, chasing him down, Mario Addison.
It's not out of the realm of possibility that because of Hauschka's 58-yarder going in this direction, in the first half. The Seahawks are close to getting within his range.
2nd and 1 for Seattle. We approach 3 minutes to play here in the fourth. Working out of the gun, give it to Lynch, slowed down. He's got enough for the first down. Needed a yard, picked up 2. Carolina clinging to a 3-point lead. Marshawn Lynch now 53 yards on the ground. Under 3 minutes to play.
And really, the Panthers have done a good job. Lynch did have that 18-yarder on a draw play here in the second half, but outside of that, he's been bottled up pretty good.
Seattle had 463 yards of offense in a loss last week. They've got 263 here today in Charlotte. Wilson on the move, throws, sideline catch made by Richardson. Brought down quickly by Kaysen, but Seattle is moving the ball. That's a 9-yard gain through the air.
And now they are within that 58-yard range for Hauschka now to change the tempo and keep the defense personnel on the field. They go no huddle.
We're down to 2:06 to play. 2nd and 1 for Seattle. They got a playoff before the 2-minute warning. Off the stunner step move, Lynch has got a first down with 1:58 to play. 2-minute warning in Carolina, 9-6. Panthers in front. Thursday, it's an all-new night of comedy on CBS, beginning with The Big Bang Theory on its new night, followed by the season premiere of Mom, the final season of 2.5 Men, and the series premiere of The McCarthys. It all starts Thursday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. 1st and 10 for Seattle. Each team has 3 timeouts left. We've got 1:58 to play. Give it to Marshawn Lynch. Brought down after the gain of 5 as he carries to the 30-yard line. Stephen Hauschka had the 58-yarder earlier. They are well within his range right now, but Seattle's thinking touchdown.
Oh, absolutely. They've got those timeouts you talked about. A lot of time to work with. Great field position at the 30-yard line. The whole playbook is wide open for Russell Wilson.
2nd and 5 for the Seahawks. Down to 1:22 remaining. Fake the handoff. Wilson streaks for the first down. Across the 25, 7 yards on the read option for Russell Wilson.
Now finally, Wilson carrying the ball in the second half. Watch him just fake Charles Johnson there and then outrun him and get down before contact. First down, Seattle.
Under a minute left, 9th play of the drive. Seattle down by 3. Operating out of the gun, Wilson throws. It's caught into the end zone. Touchdown, Luke Wilson. Russell Wilson delivers for the Seahawks.
Well, his offensive line gave him all the time in the world to throw a clean throwing lane, and he puts the ball up where only Luke Wilson can make this catch. Watch the position of this ball as it carries Wilson into the end zone before Harper can drill him. Beautiful throw by Russell Wilson. Right to the face mask of Luke Wilson, and he scores easily.
Pete Carroll pumped up. Seattle goes in front. Injury timeout after that hit by Roman Harper. Luke Wilson full celebration mode as Harper is being walked off the field. 47 seconds left. So Luke Wilson stepping in for the injured Zach Miller. Miller recovering from ankle surgery, still in a walking boot, so more opportunities for Wilson. Missed last week's game with a groin injury.
And because of the injury is inside of 2 minutes, the Carolina Panthers are charged with a timeout. And so how critical is that now with this time left?
It's a double hit. You give up the touchdown and you get charged with a timeout because Harper couldn't get up after the hit. Extra point, Hauschka. And these fans are stunned.
Really a beautiful drive orchestrated by Russell Wilson. He ran the ball and then he saved his best pass for his last pass.
They go 9 plays, 80 yards. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks now lead it 13-9. We asked Russell Wilson after winning the Super Bowl, was he surprised from hearing from celebrities, texts, any connection? He said, yeah. 2 people. Michael Jordan reached out to him, and they talked about maintaining that championship approach. And he and Derek Jeter have formed a relationship over the last couple of months, and that made a huge impression on him as well.
Well, Jeter facing his last of everything each time he took the field, and he made sure that he imparted that wisdom that every play could be your last play. Play it as if it means something. You can see that last play by Russell Wilson, the way he led the team down the field in just his 3rd year in the NFL. Boy, the sky's the limit for that young man.
Yeah, there's a poise, there's a maturity from Wilson that you just don't see from young quarterbacks that enter the NFL.
He prepares like a guy by the name of Peyton Manning.
Kickoff from Hauska. Now the pressure shifts to the Carolina offense. Burson will take it out. Off the bounce. Burson hit as he crossed the 20-yard line by Brock Coyle on special teams. Another young star, Cam Newton, with his opportunity to create some magic now. 7 career game-winning drives in the 4th quarter or overtime.
Yeah, it's almost a case where you want to tell your returner, don't return it. Let us get the ball at the 20 and save those seconds that it takes you to get out to the 23-yard line. 5 seconds they would have saved there. And with only 42, that 5 seconds is an extra play.
Injured Seahawk on special teams. Medical staff is out there checking right now with 42 seconds left. Coming up after the game, time permitting, NFL Today update presented by LGG3. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower, the latest NFL scores and highlights. So concern right now for Seattle. Still have not been able to see the number of the player that's down. Pete Carroll is there as well, and now that's a really good sign, lifting up
Deron Johnson.
Yep. 4th year backup safety out of Boise State.
Yeah, they better keep their hands on him because he's a little wobbly. Tremendous collisions on these kickoffs.
It's like a car accident every play.
Yeah, and the league has done a lot to limit those car wrecks and the collisions like that by moving the kickoff up to the 35, and a lot of the kickers kicking it out of the end zone. Person should have kept it in the end zone.
42 seconds left. Carolina has it 1st and 10 at the 23, now down 13-9. Newton. Right at the end, he was able to flip it. Stewart couldn't catch it. It's ruled incomplete. So Carolina avoids the sack from Averill. But just 34 seconds remain on the clock and a 2nd and 10 for Carolina.
Yeah, the one guy that Newton has not been able to find today is his great tight end, Greg Olsen. Just 1 catch for Olsen. And that's just for 16 yards.
And tight ends have hurt the Seattle defense this season. 8 of the 16 touchdowns they've allowed have been scored by opposing tight ends. 34 seconds remain. 2nd and 10 here for Carolina.
38.
So they're going to tack 4 seconds onto the clock.
The clock operator did not see that ball bounce. Stewart tried to do a good job of making it look like a completion, but it clearly hit the ground. A good job by the officials noticing the clock was off.
38 seconds remain. Seattle 13, Carolina 9, and flags come down.
False start. That's Carolina.
False start, number 82, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
It's the veteran Jericho Cotchery. The Panthers try to end this tailspin that they've been dealing with. 1-3-1 in their last 5 games.
And that's really inexcusable for an 11-year veteran looking in at the ball and still moving early.
Panthers are in the midst of a 5-game stretch against playoff teams from last season. 2nd and 15. Newton is sacked. Bruce Irvin gets to the quarterback with 33 seconds left. It's a loss of 7.
Well, this is why the Seahawks are feeling pretty good about their chances here. I mean, they can play loose. Carolina has to go all the way down and get a touchdown. So no sense in blitzing here. Just let your front four go. And Irvin gets in there for his 2nd sack of the season.
And his left tackle, Byron Bell, was hurt on the play. So Foucault is back in there for Carolina. And the Panthers are running out of time. 33 seconds left. Russell Wilson leading the Seattle offense to the end zone to take the lead, and now Cam Newton is trying to match him here at home. 3rd and 22 for the Panthers. 33 seconds remain. Olsen, the motion man, working out of the gun, moving pocket. Newton in trouble. Newton is sacked again. Back-to-back Bruce Irvin. The Seattle defense has come alive here in the waning moments of the 4th.
An interesting play selection too. Rolling Newton out to the right side when he had Kelvin Benjamin to the wide side of the field. We've already seen Benjamin make some outstanding plays today, but the Seahawks know that. They had 2 men covering Harold Simon and Cam Chancellor on that side of the field. Watch Chancellor come from the inside here. There's Simon. And now number 31 will come into the picture eventually. Or maybe not, but still the pressure on Newton. He's got to find a way to put that ball up in the air to get it to a receiver. You never know how the ball is going to bounce. It's certainly not going to bounce if it's still in your hands.
4th and 25 for Carolina. One last chance for the Panthers. 26 seconds remaining. Panthers have used their final timeout. On 4th down, Newton couldn't even get it to his man Jonathan Stewart, and the game will end right there.
That is a real strange play selection for Mike Shula. A screen pass on 4th down and a mile. That's asking an awful lot, even if the ball had been completed.
There will be no team in the NFC South that is even 500 through 8 weeks of the NFL season.
That'll be a heck of a Thursday night game between the Saints and these Panthers.
The Panthers dropped to 3-4-1. Seattle, for the 3rd consecutive year, has come into Charlotte and walked out with a win. So Ron Rivera will have to face the questions.
Questions before were about his defense. Defense played very well today. But the offense just couldn't get it done. Too many missed opportunities.
And for Seattle, maybe the distraction talk will be put to the side, at least for now. Felt like this was a crossroads game for the Seahawks.
Yeah, they had to go cross country to get the win, didn't they?
They did. They come out with a W. 13-9. Seattle improves to 4-3. Let's send it to JB, standing by in New York.